It all started in 2013, when a handful of pioneers entered the scene, and Crypto Valley was born. In 2016, the city of Zug began accepting Bitcoin as a form of payment, bringing in a flood of new blockchain and crypto businesses. In 2019, Switzerland's first two crypto banks emerged, and 2021 saw the birth of the Swiss DLT Act. Now, 10 years later, Crypto Valley has grown into the most mature and prolific blockchain ecosystem globally. And in the heart of it all, where ideas collide and possibilities ignite, is CV Summit 2023. This is the gathering of visionaries, pioneers, and disruptors from across the globe. A convergence of minds pushing the boundaries of blockchain and beyond. Join hands with the brightest minds, forge connections that transcend borders, and be a part of the fourth industrial revolution. Get ready for a journey beyond imagination. CV Summit 2023, where blockchain meets the world.
And with our next panel, we are switching sectors in many ways. We have now heard a lot about real estate, its application, tokenization, and the real-world asset summer. Now we are switching sectors. I have promised you diamonds before the break, and now I'm delivering diamonds to all of you. For our next panel will be about tokenizing diamonds, precious base metals, and other real-world assets. And for that purpose, I invite up on stage the moderator, the head of institutional sales at Crypto Finance AG, Stefanie Hurry. She will be joined by Mattia Rattaggi, strategic advisor at Edelcoin. And finally, we have the founder and CEO of LCX, Monty Metzger.
Good afternoon, everyone. In 1947, De Beers told us that diamonds were forever. And since then, this has been the subject of a Bond movie that I'm sure you've all seen, and a couple of songs even. But now, I think we can really say it's definitely true, because diamonds are now being represented on the blockchain. Today, we're going to delve into this topic, tokenization of real-world assets, in a bit more detail. And I'm lucky to have with me here Mattia Rattaggi, who's a senior advisor to Edelcoin and the founder and CEO of the Liechtenstein crypto exchange, Monty Metzger. So thanks very much for joining me, gentlemen. I think to jump straight into the topic, because we don't have much time, perhaps, Monty, we can start with you and talk about the benefits of tokenizing real-world assets, specifically metals and diamonds.
Mm-hmm. So first of all, diamonds are forever. This phrase came up when De Beers actually wanted to advertise the jewelry industry and change it to make diamonds something like rare and adorable. And as you know, they made it happen. So if you look at the current diamond industry, it's $100 billion market per year, and 75% is in the jewelry business. The other part is in industrial diamonds, and there's one smaller part, which was the most interesting for us. It's diamonds as an investment class. That's roughly $2 billion per year at the moment, but that's where the opportunity lies. That's where tokenization can really unlock the market. And the two reasons is basically it's price transparency, which is lacking in the diamond industry, and liquidity. Because if you compare it to gold, for example, you can go to any gold shop, buy a gold bar, and there's a public price where you can also then sell it at a certain price market value as well. That does not exist for diamonds. And that's exactly where we come in with the project called Diamonds.com, where we are tokenizing real-world diamonds one-on-one. So one diamond is one NFT. And last but not least, how does LCX come in there? We are a regulated fintech company out of Liechtenstein. We gained 9 regulatory approvals by the Financial Market Authority, and one of the roles is the so-called physical validator. I would say the most important underlying legal framework to tokenize any asset in the world. And we were looking for a showcase. That's why we started with the Diamonds platform to bring our role in. And the physical validator is making sure that the underlying asset is actually there, it's insured, it's not under debt or anything like that. It's really the fundamental bridge between digital and physical.
No, absolutely, and I think you really touch on that a key benefit of having availability of pricing and being able to establish a marketplace. From an Edelcoin perspective, Mattia, you decided to tokenize or to set up the Edelcoin token based on a basket of underlying metals. Why did you decide to go that route of setting up a coin that would probably fall as under an asset reference token, potentially under MiCA, as opposed to an e-money token? So why the metal underlying as opposed to e-money?
Yeah, the motivation for the Edelcoin came from the founder and owner of those special metals, rare metals, and they were dissatisfied with the state of stable coins. The most prominent, as we know, they are pegged to fiat. And, clearly stable coins are very much needed to operate, for the cryptocurrency market to operate, and also behind that for cross-border transaction, traditional way. But, they came to me, they say, look, it doesn't work long-term with this fiat peg because you actually import all the problems of fiat, particularly the deflationary character, which in some cases can be really remarkable in case of hyperinflation. But we also import another problem, which is the reserves. Now, the reserves are invested, and we have seen that they can be invested in a bad way, and then you get a run on the coin, or they can simply maybe not be there. For people, the disclosure about the reserve is very important. So that was the motivation. And by basing a stable coin upon a basket of metals, we also realize a portfolio effect, which helps stabilizing the coin. And secondly, there is an interesting byproduct, which is the fact that this coin is actually also an asset. Yeah, so this opens up other possibilities in terms of allocation class. Let's call it like that. This was really the motivation for the Edelcoin.
Okay. And I mean, it's interesting, we bring up these two use cases that I think are very important, is one as investments and the other is payments, right? Tokens as a means of payment. It probably goes without saying, which side you would both be on, but if you had to pick what's the most material use case going forward, payments or investments, if I get a quick answer from each of you, say Monty.
For us, it's clearly the investment side. It's a new asset class which we are opening up. The diamond industry itself is a unique global market, but due to the lack of transparency and liquidity, we're really tapping into a huge market opportunity over there. Diamonds is already the largest tokenized diamond platform out there in the world. We have now several hundred diamonds on the platform. The largest is currently 1 carat, smallest are 0.3 carat. And it's easy for investors because they don't, like normally if you buy diamonds, they actually ship it to you or you have to go. So you get a FedEx parcel with the diamonds.
Yep.
Now this transportation is not there anymore. It's safeguarded in a vault in Liechtenstein with like highest standard you could imagine. And it's insured by Lloyd's London and guaranteed by us as a physical validator. And therefore, it's a massive opportunity ahead as an investment class.
Yeah, no, I also would agree. I mean, Edelcoin, despite originating from the desire to provide the crypto markets with a better stable coin, actually we ended up giving the opportunity to the markets and market participants to invest in these 5 rare materials in a way that otherwise would have not been possible, because so far, or to date, these metals were only buyable in kind. So in that sense, we have actually provided a new asset class out there, which is...
I want to add one particular example, because we're just launching a new diamond. And so if you search for that diamond, it's a very special 10-carat diamond. You will find a price at other like online Web 2.0 platforms at around $2.2 million. We will offer that stone next couple of days for around $1.2 million. So it's almost like a 50% discount.
So it depends very much which side of the coins you're on, right? Excuse the pun. Is if you're De Beers, for example, if you're buying a diamond, maybe you want it at a lower price. But I think it's quite a complex industry, isn't it? Lower price is not necessarily better.
Yeah, the jewelry industry is really something where there's high margins also. There's a brand like Cartier's and everything like that. So it's a high margin business. If you want to go into investment side, you need clear pricing and also the ability to buy and sell.
Brilliant. And I'd like to talk a little bit about some of the challenges. I think that we've kind of highlighted, very much the investment case. And one of the challenges, for example, when you look at payments, is that there'll be competitors within the space in terms of CBDCs, other stable coins. What do you see, Mattia, some of the challenges in terms of tokenizing real-world assets? Maybe you can talk a bit about pricing, Oracle problem.
Yeah, if I look back at this project, the first challenge was to carefully analyze and craft the proper regulatory treatment, which under a Swiss law was possible in a very nice way, because it's very stable, the legislation exists, there are no doubts about it, and no changes foreseen so far. So this was the first challenge. Second challenge was also putting together this basket in a way that it would fit the purpose, and also programming the coin, obviously. All the technical part, the smart contract was a decent challenge. We looked and we found the right solutions. But now the challenge that we are confronted is on the payment side is the adoption. Because, we are not in 2013, yeah? You can't just come with a coin and be the first coin and everybody fall in love with it because they need it. You have heavy weight present in the market, and it will not be so easy to get our weight through that. On the asset side, there are maybe more hope, because it's really something new. So you can buy this one Edelcoin and you become owner of the underlying basket, in a monetary way, which was not possible before. So I see it a little bit easy now on the asset side, and I think on the payment side, it's going to be difficult. But let's not forget that I happened to participate recently at the kind of 10 years of circle, and I don't know how many years, 7 years probably, of the USDC. They also took time before getting up to speed. So adoption is the challenge.
Yes, and I mean, you mentioned as well some of the technical challenges, legal challenges, but it's not that USDC has had a very easy ride over the last 12 months either, or USDT. So I think that you're just still quite well positioned. And so in terms of additional challenges, Monty, I mean, you're trying to establish a marketplace for diamonds and also for other digital assets. How would you position yourselves compared to, say, other established exchanges or crypto exchanges? And what do you see this role of the Liechtenstein Crypto Exchange being as a marketplace?
Yeah, so LTX is establishing a new ecosystem where we become the centerpiece of the future of tokenization. And we enable that with our role as a physical validator. So Timons is now kind of a spin out. There's a new director, huge potential. I talked about it. But LCX will enable all of you. Like if there's somebody else who needs this, like a notary function to actually make sure that there's the object is actually underlying, connected with the token. That's something we can enable. And then on top of that, we have the centralized spot exchange, where we are focusing on regulatory compliant assets. So the token sales we are enabling with our role as a token issuer is really setting a new standard of how ICOs are done now in 2023 and onwards. And we're preparing for MiCA at the moment. So out of Liechtenstein, we are part of the European Economic Area. And we would say we are MiCA ready as of today, and preparing to file as soon as possible.
Oh, that sounds exciting. And if we look forward then, I mean, what were you the most excited about in terms of tokenized real-world assets? I mean, is it MiCA? Does anybody... Or
No, for me, it's really the future, because there are maybe two aspects to it, referring to the DLT technologies. The first one is actually an economic aspect. I mean, we have learned in the textbook that the more liquidity there is, the better the market functions for price discovery and to find investors and for everything else, right? So by tokenizing real-world assets, we are actually adding liquidity. We are making liquid something that is not liquid. As you mentioned, Monty, for the price discovery, all this margin, then the more liquidity there is and the better the pricing will be, which is good for the consumers and the producer. If you think about the Web3 technology, then there is another dimension. It's about empowering those who brings those products more than in a centralized framework.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, the industry is really at the tipping point at the moment. We have to prove that everything what we do with blockchain is actually getting mass adoption and bringing something useful to everyday life. And that could be just investing in assets. So I think the blockchain technology won't be visible anymore, and we need to bring it to a level that it is just investment in assets, in diamonds, in gold, in whatever digital money we have. And most of the users which we want to attract don't even need to know how it works. It just will work. And I think that's where we are at. So when I look back how Crypto Valley and Liechtenstein, everything established, what we will see in the next 5 to 10 years is really this like mass markets which are opening up. And all of us, I think we can enable it. And I also invite you, if you want to learn more a little bit about what we do at Timons, the directors at our booth. And we're hosting a small gathering at the lake at 6 p.m. So happy to have you there for a networking party.
Yeah.
If I may add, I mean,
Please,
after 10 years of Crypto Valley, we really need to focus on user friendliness for the adoption to be facilitated, to be made easier. That's a key aspect for me going forward.
No, absolutely. And I think to summarize, really, it's when we reach the point where we have adoption of this technology, we won't even know that we're using it. And I think that was very well said, Monty. And it's definitely a challenge for us as Crypto Valley and as players in this space to make sure that people are enabled to interact with this new asset class. And sounds very exciting that we have these strong use cases, particularly in the investment case, and that we're addressing some of these challenges like pricing and market liquidity. So yeah, we watch this space, and thank you very much.
Thanks, Stefan.
Thank you.
And another thank you from my side for this wonderful panel on diamonds and other metals, which can also be traded and dealt with blockchain.